Today is Monday, January the 8th. This is our regular City Commission meeting, first meeting of the year. Have a good crowd here. Welcome everybody for coming. If I could get a roll call from Vanessa Clerk, our city clerk, please.
Yes, Mayor. Commissioner Mercer?
Here.
Commissioner Yates?
Here.
Commissioner Dollison?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Birdsong?
Here.
And Mayor Dantzler.
Here. Our invocation tonight will be led by Dr. Steve Harness from First Baptist Church, and our Pledge of Allegiance will be led by our City Clerk, Vanessa Castillo. Please stand if able.
Shall we pray together? Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you in the name of Jesus Christ to thank you for the blessing of this beautiful city. Thank you, Lord, for giving us such an awesome place to rear our children and our grandchildren. And we thank you for the leaders of our city, Lord, who want the best for the city, who are people of faith, who want to do what is right. And Lord, we pray for their safety. We pray for the protection of all of our city employees and their families. Pray that you'll bless and meet their needs. Lord, help them to seek your guidance, both professionally and personally. Lord, we pray for the future of our city. I ask that you'll grant this city your favor, and that this will be a place that, Lord, not only provides a beautiful place for us to raise our families, but also a place where children can grow up learning convictions and values, how to be good citizens who give back to the community the blessings they have received. Right now, Lord, we ask your wisdom and grace upon the men and women gathered here. We pray that the decisions discussed and made tonight will be a blessing to our town and bring glory and honor to your name. We confidently pray, bring these requests to you because we bring them in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We have two presentations tonight. One is for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and then our second one is going to be Florida Arbor Day proclamation. So I'm going to ask our commissioners to please join us down front, and I'm going to ask our assistant city manager to read these proclamations for us once we get set up.
Don't fall off.
I believe the members of our MLK Week Steering Committee are here to receive the proclamation. So I'll go ahead and read it while they are coming to the podium. Whereas the City of Winter Haven recognizes the profound impact of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on the civil rights movement and the ongoing struggle for equality. And whereas Martin Luther King Jr. Day was established as a United States holiday in 1983 and is celebrated annually around the time of Dr. King's birthday on January 15th. And whereas Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. devoted his life to advancing justice, equality, and the dream of a nation where all individuals are judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And whereas Martin Luther King Jr. Day serves not only as a commemoration of his life and legacy, but also as a call to action for all citizens to engage in meaningful dialogue, reflection, and service towards the common good. And whereas his iconic I Have a Dream speech resonates as a powerful reminder of the shared aspirations that bind us together as a diverse and united community. And whereas the City of Winter Haven is committed to fostering an environment where diversity is celebrated and the principles of respect and integrity are upheld. Whereas on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, let us recommit ourselves to the ideals of compassion, understanding, and unity that Dr. King championed. Now, therefore, Bradley T. Dantzler, Mayor of the City of Winter Haven, does hereby proclaim January 15, 2024 as Martin Luther King Jr. Day and calls upon all residents to participate in commemorating this day through acts of service, community engagement, and educational activities that further the ideals of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. In witness whereof, he has hereunto set his hand and caused the seal of City of Winter Haven to be affixed this 8th day of January 2024.
Good evening, mayors, commissioners. I am Monifia Neal, and I have our MLK committee here with me today to share what we're going to do for our MLK celebration in our great city of Winter Haven. So tomorrow, we have two law enforcement officers who have committed to read stories to children about the legacy and the life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That event will take place at our Winter Haven Recreation Cultural Center from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Next, on Wednesday, January 10th, the importance of service. We do have a roundtable discussion with our neighborhood service center. It will take place at our Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center. The neighborhood center has committed to share their stories and what it means for Dr. Martin Luther King and his legacy. That event will take place from 4 to 6 p.m. Next, on Thursday, January 11th, at 10 a.m. at our MLK Park, we will have the laying of the wreath ceremony.
And to continue the week of activities, I'm Katie in Parchment, by the way. On Thursday, we have Movies with Martin. Have y'all seen Harriet yet? If not, come on out. And if you have, come watch it again. It's going to be a great time. It will be at the Ritz Theater at 6 p.m. This is a free event, so come in, have some popcorn, and enjoy yourself. Then on Friday, this event is so covenant. Everyone is buying tickets, so get your tickets now if you have not. It's our Unity Luncheon. It's almost sold out. It's sold out. Hot off the press, it is sold out. So pay attention for next year. It will be at Normail Hall, and our keynote speaker is from Channel 8, Deanne King, and this is going to be a wonderful event to celebrate the life and legacy of Martin Luther King, as well as look at some local heroes and local people in our community who have also lived up to that legacy in their own right. And so please make it a point to be there if you can. And then on Saturday, we have the Martin Luther King Parade, which will start at 10 a.m. and we'll run along Martin Luther King Boulevard. And there is a website here for more information if you need to sign up. But this is also another great event to just celebrate different organizations and community youth programs and churches within Winter Haven. So we are inviting you guys all to attend all of these events. Come out, spread the word. We're inviting the community as well. If you haven't already signed up, please come out for all of these events. And then on Monday, we have the breakfast with the concerned citizens, and it will be held at Northeast Rec. So come out to the breakfast on Monday too, because that is the day, right? We just proclaimed Monday as the day. So come out to the breakfast, enjoy the fellowship and the breakfast on Monday. Thank you.
All right, now moving on to Florida Arbor Day. I believe Savannah Wynn Stanley's here to represent our Urban Forestry Advisory Board. Saw her earlier. There she is. All right. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for planting trees. And whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world during the local tree planting season. And whereas trees reduce erosion by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate temperature extremes, remove pollutants, reduce stormwater runoff, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas the City of Winter Haven is committed to promoting ecologically sound urban forestry principles, as evidenced by being nationally recognized as a Tree City USA for more than 25 years, and whereas trees in Winter Haven increase property values and enhance the economic viability of business areas while beautifying our community. And whereas trees, wherever they are planted, provide a source of joy and spiritual renewal while standing as both literal and metaphorical pillars of our community. Now therefore, Bradley T. Dantzler, Mayor of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, does hereby proclaim January 19, 2024 as Florida Arbor Day in the City of Winter Haven and urges all citizens to support efforts to keep up urban forest health and sustainability. In witness whereof, he has hereunto set his hand and caused the seal of the City of Winter Haven, Florida to be affixed this 8th day of January 2024.
I'd like to thank the Urban Forestry Advisory Board for their support, and we look forward to a lot more exciting things to come in the coming 5 years with our recent funding that we got for urban forestry.
We have no developments of note tonight, so we do have minutes. Commissioners, you have the minutes from the September 25th, 2023 regular City Commission meeting and also from the October 4th City Commission agenda review meeting.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
motion to approve both sets of minutes.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve both sets of minutes. I'll close the City Commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anybody from the public like to speak on any of these minutes, please do so at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing, reopen the City Commission meeting. All those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion passes. On to comments from the audience. Anybody's available to speak, but we do have a few people that have signed up. First off is Anna Pizarro. If you'd come forward, give us your name and address. You have 5 minutes, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anna Pizarro. I currently reside in 1066 Country Lake Circle, Lake Wells. However, my business is here in Winter Haven at the Rowdy Games Pool. I'm here tonight to share a little bit about who the Blue Marlins Aquatic Club is. It's a local swim team, and currently we have submitted an RFP to the city, and hopefully we will have more information on Friday once the bids are open for review. Our club is offering the benefit to all residents here in Winter Haven, both children and adults. And our goal is to not only promote the sport, but also develop life skills through discipline and all our core values. So that is why I'm here tonight, so you can put a name to a face when you think and hear about the Blue Marlins Aquatic Club and what we're trying to offer to the city of Winter Haven. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. Next, we have Hugh Nguyen. Give us your name and address. You have 5 minutes.
Hugh Nguyen, 2417 Winterset Road, Winter Haven, Florida, 33884. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for this opportunity to speak before you today in regards to the selection for Winter Haven's swim team program. I am not only here as a representative of Blue Marlins Aquatic Club, but as a parent deeply invested in the future and well-being of our young swimmers, including my son, Dominic. Some of you may remember a time when Winter Haven Stingrays called the Rowdy Gang swimming pool their home. I have a personal history with this pool that stretches back to 2009, when my oldest daughter took her first strokes at 5 years old with the Winter Haven Stingrays, and she continued on her career through the high school. Back then, we discovered a team that wasn't just about competition, but about fostering a supportive community and enhancing the quality of life for the citizens of Winter Haven. Since then, there has been many changes. While change can be positive, the recent shift brought about a negative transformation that left many in our community leaving to find alternative teams. That's when my family and I turned to the Blue Marlins in 2022. We sought a team that shared our values, a team that was not only attentive, but also passionate about the individual improvement of every swimmer. Blue Marlins Aquatic Club is here to offer Winter Haven an alternative. The team's approach is simple yet powerful. Local coaches, consistent staff, and volunteer parents committed to nurturing local talent, not just importing from outside the county. We want to bring back the essence of community and passion to the Rowdy Gang swimming pool through recreational, competitive, high school, and master swimming. Blue Marlins became that beacon for my family, and my high school swimmer son, Dominic, has found a renewed sense of purpose and joy in swimming. Reflecting on the history of this pool, I recall a time in 2011 when the threat of demolishing this pool united our community. Plans were made to move the facility to the west side of US 17. As a community, I, amongst other parents, coaches, swimmers, and Winter Haven residents rallied against this decision. And we thank you for the City of Winter Haven for saving our pool. Today, I come before you as a passionate advocate for Blue Marlins Aquatic Club. This team embodies the spirit of Winter Haven, spirit of community, dedication, consistency, and inclusivity. Through my many years involved in a year-round swim club, 15 to be exact, I can assure you that Blue Marlins stand for more than just a swim team. It stands for fostering a love for the sport and building a sense of community through its swim program. Choosing Blue Marlins is about choosing a team that understands the heart of Winter Haven and its citizens. Blue Marlins Aquatic Club is ready to be a catalyst for that positive change in the Rowdy Gang swimming pool, and we hope to call Winter Haven our home. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Next up, we have Brad Beatty. Give us your name and address, please. You have 5 minutes, Brad.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. I'd also like Lieutenant Dan Jones to come at the same time, Salvation Army.
Okay.
We're addressing the same concern, and so I'm at 1951 8th Street Northwest.
Okay.
Good evening. My name is Lieutenant Daniel Jones. My wife and I are the new officers for the Salvation Army here in Winter Haven. The address is 350 Vale Drive, Winter Haven. The issue that we're bringing up is we just wanted to inform the city that as of right now, we have made the difficult decision to have to close the doors to our women's shelter. The reason why is just because we've been operating at a deficit for over a decade now, and getting to the point of, with the rising cost of basically everything, just like everyone's dealing with, we're dealing with just the rising cost of utilities, of groceries, of anyway, all of those things. And then with a lack of substantial funding that has just been accumulating, it got to the point where we have to look at the future of the Salvation Army here in Winter Haven and East Polk County. And in order for us to be able to keep on having our doors open, whatever services we can provide, we had to make this difficult decision. And so I'm here to inform the city that, but I also want to say that I have talked to our divisional headquarters, and they have told us that if we can get a commitment of $125,000 for 3 to 5 years, then to be able to be dedicated towards the shelter, then we would be able to change that conversation. But as of right now, the last day would be February 12th, and that's where we're really trying to work with partner organizations to find housing for these women that are in this situation. Thank you.
So I, as one of the partners with the City of Winter Haven, I just wanted to bring this to your attention, and we're very concerned about this. For us, it seems like a step backwards in terms of our housing continuum here in Winter Haven. Very concerned about that, and we are committed both to helping the ladies get placed for housing that Lieutenant Jones has currently living and residing at their shelter, but we're also committed to trying to help them raise that $125,000 commitment. And so I would just ask that the city would consider, having some conversations to see what the city might do as part of that, not the entire amount, but we're going to work with the entire community to see if we can raise that money, because it's just such an important part to ensuring that women and women with young children, which they also house, are taken care of in those crucial moments when there's emergency housing situations. So thank you for your consideration, and I hope that we can find some solution for this in the near future.
So can I ask a quick question, Brad, or?
Yes, sir.
How many women do you serve? I hate to say I'm playing ignorant here.
On average, we have about 15 women who stay during that time, but currently, because we've closed the intake process right now, just because of this imminent closing, we have about 11 in the shelter.
And they sleep there and they have their children there and all that?
Right now, it started off as a women and children's shelter. Right now, because we have a daycare contract, we also have some behavioral health clients. So there's men in there. So because of that, before I got here, they made the decision to make it a women's shelter mainly, and then having those 2 beds open for men and women from daycare. But it's typically, it was supposed to be a women and children's shelter, but it's mainly women right now.
Is it all Winter Haven women, or do they come from all over?
It's mainly Winter Haven, but we serve all of East Polk County, so there have been other from other cities, but mainly Winter Haven, though. Yes, sir.
And Baycare is your main sponsor. Have they cut off funding, or are they just not giving you enough, or?
What happened was, and I don't want to speak, that contract happened before we got here, but when we stepped into it, they had to cut half of the funding prior, because they had given, it was supposed to be over $200,000 contract for 4 beds, but they weren't utilizing all 4 beds, and so they decided to cut the contract in half, and we were left holding that extra $100,000.
So you keep saying 4 beds, that doesn't seem like very many.
That's
What am
for
I
the
missing?
Baycare part, yes, sir.
Oh, the Baycare part.
So when it was just a women and children's shelter, we had 24 beds, and typically we had the women staying on the bottom bunk, and then the children would stay above them, because we have lockers that they would share. But because of the Baycare contract that we had signed, they decided to do. They had made that decision to not take the children right now. But if we can get the funding, we're really looking at we want to revamp this program. We want to make sure that it is an asset to everyone involved, and not just for, it was an emergency shelter as well, let me say that. It was supposed to be a 2-week thing, but because of the compassion of our caseworkers and because of the lack of affordable housing in the area, we don't want to push people out onto the streets. And so because of that, we've been allowing people to stay past that 2-week margin. One of the interviews that came out, they interviewed one of the clients. She'd been there for over 4 months. That was never the goal, but if it was to be able to become something else, if we were to be able to get the funding, I would love for it to become a transitional shelter where we're really focused on finding areas or finding housing for the people permanently, giving them skills that will be able to help them long-term. But, yes, sir.
Well, you got the right partner right beside you, though. That's what
Yes,
you're
sir,
doing.
I agree.
The last question, this is down there at your place right down here on 17, is that where this is?
It's the one, no, that is our church and admin building, but the shelter is on 320 MLK.
Okay, go ahead, Nat.
So is Baycare going to continue to fund if you?
As of right now, no, just because we had to make this decision, and the date was February 12th. Now, if we're able to get the funding, then we want to resume negotiations or talks with them, depending on what type of funding we're able to receive.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah.
Let me ask a question.
Yes, please.
Lieutenant, I'm curious, the funding from Baycare requires you to not, or prohibits you from having children there, is my understanding, that arrangement because of the male-female occupancy. If that was not within there and you were able to go back to a shelter for women with children or women and children, you said 24
Yeah, yes, sir. We have 24 beds.
And what would the annual financial shortfall be under that scenario?
Under that, honestly, I'm not sure. My wife and I had just gotten here in June, so we were still figuring some of that stuff out, but I can find that, those finance figures for you, though.
Okay, but to maintain it as you're currently operating under the parameters, did you say it was $125,000 per year for 3 years?
Yes, sir, that would be additional funding, because we are getting extra funding from outside sources, from like the United Way and I believe the Homeless Coalition, but it would be an additional $125,000.
Okay, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, I was just asking for that clarification. So if you chose to take some action on this at some point, you understand the parameters with respect. I know your primary goals have been focusing on homelessness involving children who are of school age. So this gives you some idea there.
Right, is the county helping, or?
As of right now, we haven't had any talks with the county. This was something that when we were looking at our budget, and like I said, looking at the future of the Army here, just being able to have a presence, whatever it looked like, this was something that we felt needed to be done. And we were waiting on approval on the budget. This was just a proposal, but then they decided to go through with it. And so now we're kind of just having to go at this pace. But that is why we wanted to come here also, was to be able to see if we can get that support from the community.
Well, I have learned from Mr. Beatty and others that the best way to beat homelessness is to keep people from becoming homeless. And it sounds like that's what you're doing, right?
That's what we're trying to, yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, anybody else?
How long has the shelter been open?
So as it is right now, it opened in 1982 in that building, from what I understand. But actually, we have had a shelter since the beginning of the Salvation Army in Winter Haven, which we celebrated 65 years last year. And so, I mean, even our social service director, Diana Woodhead, she actually, she said that she was a child who stayed in that shelter back in the day, and now she's the social service director for over 20 years. But it was about, we've had a shelter in this area for 65 years, from my understanding.
That will be a significant impact if it is closed.
I agree, yes, sir. This was not a decision that, I do want everyone to know, this was not a decision. We came straight from the training college. I never thought that this would be what we would have to do just within our first 6 months of being here. And when we found out that deficit, there was a lot of pain, there was a lot of heartache, we had a lot of tears, and I honestly was asking God, why would he send us here at this point? Especially for our first appointment. But anyway, I know that we're running out of time, but I just want to say that this was not a decision that we made lightly. This was not something that we want to do. But it's a decision that, looking at the future, unless we can get the funding, this is what it is.
Tracy's got something.
Yeah, I want to say I am very concerned about this, and, the most important thing is keeping that family together, whether it's mother, father, and kids, or whether it's mother and kids, or father and kids, I guess you'd say, too. We probably, want to look at that very seriously.
Yes, ma'am.
Even if it's transitional for a time. But like you said, if there's no housing to put them in, then it's going to be another problem, so.
Yes, ma'am. I agree.
It is a problem, because we don't have any place to put them. Go ahead, Brian.
We're kind of dealing with a pretty tight timeline here, with February 12th being the deadline, and I think we've got, our next commission meeting is...
You have January 22nd, then February 12th.
So is January 2nd, or is January 22nd enough time between the 22nd and February 12th? Like, what I'm looking for is a little bit more information than what you've got tonight. So if you came back and you work with staff over the next week and a half to kind of get these numbers together, what is Baycare's willingness? What are the other willingnesses out there? So we know exactly what is the number that needs to come potentially from the city of Winter Haven, and then we have something that we can discuss up here and make a formal decision on.
Yes, sir. That's something that I'm willing to try to do, and then also I'll talk to my headquarters and see what they're thinking, because they told me that we would have to have a committed number of 125 for 3 to 5 years. So that was the one thing that they had brought up. But if we can find those figures for you, I'll do my best to in a week and a half.
I think, too, that we would need to know, even if we decided to help, we got to know what we are helping to do. I mean, there's got to be, we have to have a program, service. We've got to know
Yes, sir.
what it is if we commit, what we are committing to,
Yes, sir.
and what's the end product is going to be. So,
Yeah.
and I mean, you only have
No, I
a short
understand.
period of time to get that to us, because basically, again, we're spending taxpayers' money, whatever we decide to do, and so we can't just do it at a whim. We've got to, go through our process and to see what it is we're funding.
Yes, sir. And that's something I can work on getting to you guys ASAP. Well, when we first got here, it was a lot of putting out fires, but now I feel like things have been kind of stabilized since we've been here, and so I think I'm going to be devoting all of my time to this.
How the closing date that you have shared, how hard is that date? Is that
For
where you-
headquarters, it's pretty much set in stone unless we can get that commitment. Whether it's from whatever portion you guys can provide or from the community, whatever partners. We've had people already reaching out saying that they want to support, they don't want it to close, they're willing to talk monetary, but we just need to get those numbers figured out so then that we can go ahead and present it to my headquarters.
Mayor and Commissioners, what I might suggest, given the situation at hand, is if the lieutenant and I can meet this week, perhaps even as soon as tomorrow, to get more information on this. This is the first that staff has heard of this as of right now, but allow him an opportunity to gather the necessary facts and data behind this, and meet with myself and staff to be able to prepare something for you to give consideration to on January 22nd, unless you were so inclined to take action of some sort this evening. But I think that you still have some questions that remain unanswered. That will give them time to pull that together and allow you to make a decision in advance of their February 12th date, provided that making a decision on January 22nd would allow a sufficient time frame to forego that closing on February 12th if financially it can make sense.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Did you say 125 per year for 3 years or 125 over 3 years?
No, 125 per year. Yes, sir.
Okay. So Katrina, give him my card, and Lieutenant, if you will contact my office or give her your number, we'll make contact tomorrow morning, and Mayor and Commissioners will facilitate this from my office and bring something back for your consideration.
Okay. Perfect. All right, thank you, guys. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Okay. Forgive me, Zenja Zhao. Forgive me if I messed the name wrong, but please come forward, give us your name and address. You can correct my enunciation if you would like. Is Zenja here, or Zenja? No? Okay. Abdul Al-Khatib. Abdul, were you going to talk about something on the agenda, or is this? Okay. Agenda item. I'll call you up then, okay? Okay. All right, and that's the last people that have signed up. If anybody else would like to speak or address this body, please come forward now. You have 5 minutes. Whatever you want to talk to us about. If it's agenda-driven, we call on you when the agenda's item's up, but if it's something else, come on up, give us your name and address. You got 5 minutes.
Thank you very much. B.G. Garrett, 2772 Western Trails Drive, Winter Haven, Florida. Good evening, Mayor Brad and our beautiful spirited city council team. You guys look amazing up there. Happy New Year. There's so many opportunities that's facing our county and our city, but the one that we want to talk about is the economical disparity business problem or opportunities. I'm gonna say they really opportunities because we can shift things, we can change them. We're gonna say this is, got two Winter Havens. We're gonna call this the other Winter Haven. And I use this subject because there are literally two Winter Havens. One Winter Haven is beautiful for our situation. And in a sense, this Winter Haven is overflowing with the miracle of prosperity and the honey of opportunity. This Winter Haven is the habitat of hundreds of people who have food and material necessities for their bodies and culture and education for their minds, and freedom of human dignity for their spirit. In this Winter Haven, thousands of people experience every day the opportunity of having life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in all of its dimensions. And in the Winter Haven, thousands of young people grow up in the sunlight of opportunity. That's a beautiful spot, right? Walking across the streets of downtown, walking past the Fire Restaurant, the Grill and Bar, the aroma of safety and prosperity, it fills my spirit. Downtown Winter Haven is amazing. Can we agree? We do an amazing job. But tragically and unfortunately, there's another Winter Haven. This other Winter Haven has a daily ugliness about it that constantly transforms the buoyancy of hope into the fatigue of despair. In this Winter Haven, hundreds of work-starved men walk the streets daily in search for jobs that do not exist. In this Winter Haven, hundreds of elderly that have fought and prayed and fought has either passed away to see their maker or whom have given up the fight for equality, find themselves living in rat-infested, uninhabitable homes. That's a fact. That's a fact. In this Winter Haven, people are poor by the thousands, and they find themselves perishing on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. Just walk downtown. In a sense, the greatest tragedy of this other Winter Haven is that what it does to our children. Little children in this other Winter Haven are forced to grow up with clouds of inferiority, forming every day in their little mental skies, thinking that they're inferior to the next person because they don't see greatness. Because when they walk down Florence Villa, y'all want to talk about Florence Villa? And where? In Balgi, it's not the same. So the question is, what can we do? As a unit, we're brilliant. Together, we're strong. So I'm asking you, the team, I'm asking the Winter Haven team, let's figure this thing out. What Terry Boyd has done down there is immaculate. And he's done that he's done that with greatness. He's done that with greatness. But I'm here to say, as a state licensed general contractor, as a state licensed roofing contractor, as a FAMU grad in construction engineering, I know that we can figure this thing out. We can come together, we can figure it out. We're part of a great program now with the city, and we go out and we help elderly fix their homes up. It's a facade grant. So I urge all of you guys to utilize what these great people are putting together for our city. And well, thank you for everything you guys are doing. Let's come together. Let's be great. Let's make history. We can do this.
All right, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, item 9 on our agenda is, there's no ordinance second reading that we need to talk about. Next, item 10 is reorganization of the city commission meeting, swearing in of newly elected city commissioner. John Murphy, you want to take it from here?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Mayor Commission. My pleasure this evening. I hope everyone can hear me. I'm trying to project my voice. It's my pleasure now to conduct the swearing in of the newly elected commissioners, and that will be for seat number 1, seat number 2, and seat number 5. Or 4.
Seat 3. No, I'm 4. Seat 3. I'm 2.
Commissioner Mercer, Commissioner Yates, and Mayor Pro Tem Birdsong. So if I can have Commissioner Mercer come down, I'll do them one at a time. And we have Ms. Hill has very nicely marked the spot where we're going to stand, so that we can be. Best camera. Best camera, well, there's no good camera. But I'm sure. All right, now, if you will please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, L. Tracy Mercer. I, L. Do solemnly swear that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution and government of the city of Winter Haven, the state of Florida, and the United States of America. That I am duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the state, and that I will faithfully perform the duties of city commissioner of the city of Winter Haven, on which I am now about to enter. So help me God. Very good. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Next, I'd like to call, Commissioner William Brian Yates. Please have him come down. We'll proceed through the same process. Commissioner Yates, if you would please raise your right hand.
That's so cute. He's a daddy.
All right, that's wonderful. If you would please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, William Brian Yates.
I, William Brian Yates.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support, protect, and defend.
That I will support, protect, and defend.
The Constitution and government.
The Constitution and government.
Of the city of Winter Haven.
Of the city of Winter Haven.
The state of Florida.
The state of Florida.
And the United States of America.
And the United States of America.
That I am duly qualified to hold office.
Duly qualified to hold office.
Under the Constitution of the state.
Under the Constitution of the state.
And that I will faithfully perform.
And I will faithfully perform.
The duties of city commissioner.
The duties of city commissioner.
Of the city of Winter Haven.
Of the city of Winter Haven.
On which I am now about to enter.
Of which now I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
We'll have pictures taking, I'm sure. Now, Mayor Pro Tem Birdsong, if you will please join me up front here, and we'll proceed in the same manner. He's already raised his right hand.
He's done this a few times.
Yes, he has. I, Nathaniel J. Birdsong Jr.,
I, Nathaniel Joe Birdsong Jr.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the city of Winter Haven,
of the city of Winter Haven,
the state of Florida,
the state of Florida,
and the United States of America.
and the United States of America.
That I am duly qualified to hold office
That I'm duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will faithfully perform
and that I will faithfully perform
the duties of city commissioner
the duties of city commissioner
of the city of Winter Haven,
of the city of Winter Haven,
on which I am now about to enter.
on which I am now about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Very good. That's wonderful. That concludes now the swearing in of the newly elected commissioners.
Okay.
So that was items 10A, B.
Now we're up to 10C.
Now we're at 10C.
Yep.
And this is the election of mayor of the city commission. And as you know, our charter and our code of ordinances requires that each first meeting in January, the city commission will elect from among themselves a mayor for the ensuing year for the city of Winter Haven. And all of you, with the exception of, unfortunately, Commissioner Dollison, are eligible to be serving as mayor. So would, Mayor, if you want to go ahead and open up.
I would like to make a motion, please.
Go ahead.
I'd like to nominate Nathaniel Birdsong to be mayor for this year.
You accept?
Yes.
Are there any further nominations to come from the floor? If there are none, I will entertain a motion to close nominations for the office of mayor for the city of Winter Haven.
So moved.
Any further discussion? All those in favor of closing the nominations, please say aye.
Aye.
Now, the motion that's on the floor, the nomination is to elect Nathaniel J. Birdsong Jr. as mayor for the city of Winter Haven. Is there any further discussion? Are there any comments from the public on that? If not, then all those in favor of Nathaniel J. Birdsong Jr. as mayor for the city of Winter Haven, please say aye.
Aye.
And that's a unanimous vote. So, Mayor Pro Tem Birdsong. Now that you're mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, now you're mayor, you have to now preside over the election of the Mayor Pro Tem for the city of Winter Haven.
All right, I'm ready.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
I'd like to make a motion, please.
go ahead.
I'd like to nominate Brian Yates to be Mayor Pro Tem.
Do you consent?
I do.
All right. We will now vote.
Actually, Mayor, you should, after a motion to close the nominations.
Close the nomination.
Is there such a motion?
I'm moving fast.
Okay.
I entertain a motion to close the nomination.
So moved.
The nomination has been closed on the name of Mayor Pro Tem to be Brian Yates. All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by the same sign. Motion carries. Now that the nomination has been closed, we will now, I entertain a motion to,
Do the mayor.
for Brian Yates to become the Mayor Pro Tem.
We just
Mayor Johnson, you got to make another motion.
Nope, well, didn't we just do that?
No, we closed.
Close the nomination.
You closed,
Technically, you voted to close the
to close the nomination.
close the nomination, so
Okay.
technically, vote
Yes.
again, yeah.
So moved. So Brian Yates is our Mayor Pro Tem?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by the same sign, hearing none. Congratulations, Mayor Pro Tem Brian Yates.
Mayor, it's now, Mayor Birdsong, it is now my duty and my pleasure to swear the mayor and the Mayor Pro Tem in. And we'll do the same procedure as we just did. Thank you, Katrina Hill, for providing these great places to stand. Mayor, if you'll please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Nathaniel J. Birdsong Jr.,
I, Nathaniel J. Birdsong Jr.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the city of Winter Haven,
of the city of Winter Haven,
the state of Florida,
the state of Florida,
and the United States of America.
and the United States of America,
That I am duly qualified to hold office
that I am duly qualified to hold office
under the Constitution of the state,
under the Constitution of the state,
and that I will faithfully perform
and that I will faithfully perform
the duties of mayor
the duties of mayor
of the city of Winter Haven,
of the city of Winter Haven,
of which I am now about to enter.
of which I am now about to enter.
So help me God. Oh, Mayor, come back, guys. A reminder, there's one ceremonial duty that I certainly forgot on this. This is the mayor's leave. This is something we treasure very much in the city of Winter Haven. And it is a medallion that has all of the names of most of the mayors of recent history. And we always do this with the mayor. So Mayor, it's my honor, privilege to put this on you and very proudly on behalf of the city of Winter Haven. Just so the citizens know, this goes back in the safe. Safeguarded for all of the years to come. So this is something that we turn around. There we go. And that's a distinction that we in Winter Haven are very proud of. And so there we go. All right. tonight. So
You just can't leave the building with it, sir.
Now it's my pleasure to swear in Mayor Pro Tem Brian Yates. I, Brian William Yates. I, William Brian Yates. William Brian Yates. Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will support, protect, and defend. That I will support, protect, and defend. The Constitution and government. The Constitution and government. Of the City of Winter Haven. Of the City of Winter Haven. The State of Florida. The State of Florida. And the United States of America. And the United States of America. That I am duly qualified to hold office. That I'm duly qualified to hold office. Under the Constitution of the state. Under the Constitution of the state. And that I will faithfully perform. And that I will faithfully perform. The duties of Mayor Pro Tem. The duties of Mayor Pro Tem. Of the City of Winter Haven. Of the City of Winter Haven. On which I am now about to enter. Of which I am now about to enter. So help me God. No blame from the Mayor Pro Tem. All right.
Flex.
Now, I believe we have some outgoing recognition.
Recognitions, yes. Mayor?
And if former Mayor Bradley T. Dancer will come down to the well, it will be my pleasure to present to you a plaque. This is presented to Bradley T. Dancer in recognition of your dedicated service as mayor to the City of Winter Haven City Commission for 2023-2024, which is presented this 8th day of January 2024. Now, this is just one of many plaques that you have, so wonderful. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. And Mayor Berthon, if you'll please come down, we have a plaque to present to you as well. And this plaque is presented to Nathaniel J. Berthon Jr. in recognition of your dedicated service as Mayor Pro Tem to the Winter Haven City Commission 2023 through 2024. Presented this 8th day of January 2024. Again, one. Thank you very much.
Okay, so now I guess I'm in charge, John?
You sure are.
What I would like to do first is I would like to offer you, former Mayor Dantzler, the opportunity to make some comments.
Well, you're kind. I don't have a lot to say. I will tell you that being mayor has been a very big honor for me. If anybody have heard me speak knows that my father was the mayor in Winter Haven in the early 60s during some tumultuous times, and I'm a very proud son when it comes to those stories that we hear from people that lived back then, and I've tried to uphold the whatever I can do for the city, and I'm going to continue serving on the commission at least for 2 more years, so we'll see what happens after that. But this has been an honor of a lifetime to serve this city that I love so much, and I love handing off the mantle to my very good friend over here, Mr. Birdsong, who has become one of my dear friends, and I can't think of anybody else I'd rather have succeed me other than him. So he's going to do a great job, and this city's in good hands. We're heading in the right direction. You saw the concern that we had tonight when the need was brought to us for homelessness, and this commission is in tune with that, and I'm proud of that, and I'm thankful for it. So it's good to see a crowd here tonight. You guys stay engaged, keep this man honest. It's that won't be hard, but stay after him, and that's it. I'm just thrilled to be here and thrilled to serve. So. thank you. Thank you so much.
And I want to give my two fellow re-elected commissioners an opportunity to say a few words, if you would like. Ladies first.
All right. I'm very happy to serve again for 4 years. As we all work together here pretty well, and so we all have the same ideas about what is necessary for the city, what needs to be done, what should be done for the city. So I think that's our major goal here. I have been a long time serving the city. I served it for 10 years, and then I've worked at other cities. So I feel honored to make this home. I've been here for 25 years, I guess you'd say. So, and so it is home to me. I am very proud to know a lot of you in this community want to know more, and we'll be out there to try to find more to do. If I retired tomorrow, I probably would go volunteer somewhere, because I feel that you need to be involved and you need to be part of the community. So that's it for me.
I'll just say wow. Got to pinch myself here pretty much every day, but to be born and raised here in Winter Haven, and now to be able to continue to serve on the city commission now for a second term, and in this capacity as mayor pro tem, hopefully I'll wake up one day, but until then, it's a really good dream that I hope continues for a long time. We don't always agree on everything up here, but I think the important part is that when we don't agree on something, we talk through the issue. We listen to each other's opinions, we respect each other, and we make the best decision we each feel is in the best interest of the city of Winter Haven. And I think, hopefully the citizens of Winter Haven see that and appreciate that, and that's not a lot more we can ask for. So I just didn't know. I knew of you guys. I read about you guys in the paper and the Ledger, and I'm like, oh, I got to work with these people. But no, you guys have all been truly become my friend over the years, and I appreciate that friendship greatly. We'll get you wearing garnet and gold here one day, Mayor, again soon. But no, it's just an honor to serve up here, and like I said, hopefully the dream continues. So, thank you.
Thank you. And now our newest commissioner, Reverend Dallas.
Well, good evening. I want to say congratulations to you. You have distinguished yourself as the longest-serving commissioner in the history of Winter Haven, and that is a blessing and certainly, I know, a great honor. And I know that your late father, who was a preacher, and I can relate to that. I know he would be so proud, and your mother, who lived to be 100 years young, and I know she was so proud of you. I knew that from the very beginning, and so it's just an honor to have the privilege to serve under you for this great city. And to Mayor Dantzler, thank you for the outstanding job that you have done. I've watched you over the years, and I've grown to appreciate the man that you are. And I know your heart truly is in this, and it's just a great privilege to serve with some amazing people, and I'm humbled by that. Tonight, we started the meeting about people who were perhaps maybe homeless in a few days, and that really aggravates my heart. And I believe that that's why we sit here, because we can make a difference. And I hope that's the purpose for why we all serve, that we're here to make a difference in Winter Haven, to make it a better place. And for those who are least and left out, those who are less fortunate, certainly we should do our level best to try to assist and help them any way we possibly can. So thank you for the privilege, those who voted for us. We are thankful and grateful for the opportunity, and we look forward to great days ahead, seeing Winter Haven grow beyond what we perhaps even imagined.
Last but not least, I've got to say thank you. First of all, Mayor Dantzler, it's been my privilege to serve alongside you for over 4 years, and to Commissioner Yates and Mercer, it's been my privilege to serve with you as well. And to the citizens of Winter Haven, the voters, I have to thank you for allowing me to serve for as long as I've served. I've already completed 21 years as a commissioner. Lord is willing, when this term is over, I will have served for 25 years. And I'm humble and I'm thankful, because I know it's just not me. It's the God that looks over us all, that guides us all. And I just want to also remember my fellow commissioner, J.P. Powell. So this time last year, J.P. was with us. And his wife sent me a little special gift from him that I'm wearing tonight. These beautiful tiger cufflinks that he wore that I'm wearing tonight. And so I thank his family, and JP was really a champion. And we all loved him, and we're going to miss him greatly. So with that, I'd just like to thank the staff for the outstanding job that you've done over the years and that you're continuing to do, and the members of the committee that have been working and that will continue to work. So at this time, we're going to take a recess for, I'm going to say 7 minutes. 7 minutes. So we stand adjourned, recessed, not adjourned, recessed. We're going to take a picture.
Yeah, you guys go down and get your photos made. Now, you want to switch seats tonight, or?
It's gonna beep like crazy, but.
Want to switch?
Hi, yes.
Pictures made, man. Got your family out of the way. You do this later.
Yeah, we got time. We got time. We got time.
So you made them, okay, wonderful, wonderful, that's what I need.
Creeping this way, don't hesitate, like Jerry.
No, I feel like I'm
That's how I
following the whole.
spread my.
No. Look at this, I'm taking up, I feel that way towards you. Look at this, I have everything so spread out. If you notice, I'm like, I have this here and then I'm like, okay. Okay, wonderful, that's what I need updates.
What's up, buddy? Made it.
What's going on? That was a really nice
Just so you know, before I was taking a poll, I'm going to take that for Tracy, Cliff's taking that for Tracy, and Cliff's taking it for me. Okay. Brian took my airport committee, so that didn't make it on there, so I'm taking AHAC for Tracy. You take AHAC. Okay, yeah. I'm taking that one. And Brian took airport. I was at the airport with me, not Tracy, so he's taking that from me. Cliff is going to get the library.
I'm just doing it. Okay, so the airport is going to be, Brian's going to do it.
Yeah, and the red is already, but they didn't get them all right. And Cliff's taking the planning commission. Okay. And Cliff is going to also take the library. Okay. Tracy picked up some more. Okay. And then Cliff is taking the
Winter Haven Housing
from me. All right. Okay. All right. I was kind of working out before the meeting, so.
Okay, thanks, Brad. Is it on? You didn't turn it off, did you?
I did not. Remember that green light's on.
It's on. Good evening again. We're going to reconvene the meeting.
Oh, thank you. Congratulations, man. Shake your hand there.
See what that?
Somebody's going to do it.
Okay, switch around.
Or switcheroo.
Okay. All right. I would like to call to order the regular City Commission meeting. We are reconvening. And the next item on the agenda is the liaison reassignments. And at our agenda review on Wednesday night, we looked over the assignments, and so we have completed a list of the reassignments. And so I'm just going to read them into the record, and then we'll move forward. The AHAC board will be Brad. The Airport Advisory, Brian Yates. The CRA is all commissioners. The Cultural Arts Committee will be Brad Dantzler. Firefighters Pension Board, Tracy Mercer. General Employee Pension Board, Nathaniel Birdsong. Lakes Advisory Committee, Nathaniel Birdsong. Library Board, Clifton Dollison. MTAC, Brad Dantzler. Planning Commission, Cliff Dollison. And on the Planning Commission, I'd like to appoint an alternate as well. And I would like to appoint Commissioner Yates is the alternate on the Planning Commission. All right. And the Police Officers Pension Board, Tracy Mercer. Risk Management Committee, Tracy Mercer. Smart City Committee, Tracy Mercer. Urban Forester, Brad Dantzler, because he wants to get those 100,000 trees in, what was it, 5 years, Brad? 3 years. And then Central Florida Regional Planning Council is Nat Birdsong. The Lakes Regional Management District, MJ Carter Valley. And Main Street, Winter Haven, Brian Yates. Polk Regional Water Cooperative, Nat Birdsong, with Tracy Mercer being the alternate. Polk Transit, Nat Birdsong. Polk Transportation Planning Organization, Nat Birdsong, Brian Yates, and Tracy Mercer is the alternate. And before the end of the year, we will have 3 members, and so we will come back, because then probably Tracy Mercer will become the member, and then we will need at least 1 alternate. The Ridge League of Cities is Brian Yates, with Tracy Mercer is the alternate. The Ridge Theater is Brian Yates. The TPO TDLCB is Nat Birdsong. Tourist Development Council is Brad Dantzler. The Arts, Cultural, and Heritage is Brad Dantzler. And Winter Haven Housing Authority is Clifton Dollison. And Winter Haven Economic Development, EDC, is Nat Birdsong.
And
all right.
Mayor, just for the record, on the Planning Commission where you've appointed the alternate, obviously that's in the event that one can't attend, so both of y'all, either, whoever's the primary, just those are, particularly the Planning Commission, because those are decisions that will come before you all in the quasi-judicial and/or quasi-legislative capacity. So, the alternate, I just want to make sure that you understand that.
Yes.
Concept in that particular liaison assignment.
So only one should attend that meeting?
Yes, only one will attend, yes.
That would be true then, other than your others.
Okay. All right. Commissioners, we have the consent agenda.
Mr. Mayor, motion to approve the consent agenda as a whole.
All right, we will close the city commission meeting and open the public hearing. Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak to any item on the consent agenda? Seeing none, we'll close the public hearing and reopen the city commission meeting. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Motion carries. Okay, resolution. Resolution R2401, Lake Maud Park and Winter Haven Recreation and Culture Center venture naming. And I think there was one person that wanted to speak on this item from the public. Wasn't it, Mayor Danson? Abdul.
Your list is over there somewhere.
Where? Oh. Oh, okay. That's the only one.
Okay.
Give us your name and address for the record as if we
Mayor, would
don't
you like
know
us
it.
to read the item for the audience's benefit first?
Yes, let's just read the item first. City Attorney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution R24-04, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, supporting, approving, and authorizing Lake Maud Park and Winter Haven Recreational Cultural Center venue naming as recommended by the Winter Haven Recreational and Cultural Center, WHRCC, History Committee, and authorizing and directing the city manager to take all necessary actions in order to accomplish same, making findings, providing severability, repeal of conflicting resolutions, and the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. City Manager?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Commissioners, the Winter Haven Recreation and Community Center Improvement Project that's been going on for the past few years has provided us a unique opportunity to engage with the community and the Winter Haven Cultural Center History Committee in a conversation about continuing to honor James Schoolboy Tuggerson and Otis Birdsong. As you know, those two gentlemen have athletic facilities at that site named in their honor, and those are parts of the facility that will be renovated, and with the case of the Tuggerson baseball field, will be removed for the expansion of the recreation center itself. That Winter Haven Recreation Cultural Center History Committee is comprised of Patricia Hunter, Maxie Hunter, Reverend Clifton Dollison, Patricia Sallery, Abdul Al-Khatib, and Valparaiso Baker, along with a number of staff from Parks and Recreation, as well as from within the Library Division of Parks and Recreation. Members of that committee surfaced a desire to see, likewise, a recognition for Mr. Reuben Williams, honored as part of the Lake Maud Improvement Project in recognition of his significant contributions to recreation here in Winter Haven and with the city of Winter Haven, noting that much of Mr. Williams' work was centered in and around the Lake Maud Park area, making that a fitting location for the project. The following recommendations were brought forward by that history committee, and these were presented to the public as part of our public engagement meetings this past summer. Item 1 was to rename the double gymnasium that will be constructed in the new Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center as the Otis Birdsong Gymnasium, giving recognition to his prominence within the basketball world. Lake Maud Park, this is the recreational side on the east side of 7th Street, the recommendation is for that to be renamed the Reuben Williams Sports Complex. And those baseball fields at Lake Maud Park, which are presently under construction, would carry the name James Schoolboy Tuggerson Baseball Fields at Reuben Williams Sports Complex, and that is the replacement of the baseball field that will come out of the Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center. Community was invited to offer feedback on this. We did that via survey, both in paper format and digital format at the meetings we held there at the Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center, as well as online. That was for the period of June 27th through July 14th, 2023. It's also linked on social media, the city's website, and the project page in our advanced Winter Haven platform. 84% of those who responded were favorable, agreeing or strongly agreeing with the double gymnasium naming in recognition of Otis Birdsong. 88% were in agreement or strongly agreed with the naming of Lake Maud Park to the Reuben Williams Sports Complex, and 88% agreed or strongly agreed with the recognition of James Schoolboy Tuggerson for the baseball fields at that Lake Maud Park. Going forward, those are the recommendations that this group has brought to you this evening for your consideration as we continue our efforts on the final construction documents for the Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center. Staff is working to refine and document a process for selecting and approving naming within that building as well as at other city facilities. As you know, there will be a library within that space and a handful of meeting rooms, a fitness center, that those may have opportunity for recognizing and further preserving the history of significant figures within our community. So there's no financial impact with this effort, and staff's recommendation is to approve the Resolution 24-04 Lake Maud Park and Winter Haven Recreation and Cultural Center venue naming as presented, and we will stand for any questions. Likewise, members of that committee are here.
Okay. Commissioners, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, move for approval of Resolution R2404.
All right, we have a motion. I will now close the City Commission meeting and open the public hearing, and we have one person that would like to speak to this item. You can now speak. State your name and address.
for the record.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, my name is Abdurrahim Al-Khatib. I reside at 1435 10th Street Northeast, Winter Haven, Florida, lifelong resident of the city of Winter Haven. I rise this evening in the manner taught to me by Mr. Reuben Williams, who you all just spoke of naming the sports complex after. Mr. Reuben taught me to say it's indeed a pleasure and honor for me to have the opportunity to address you this evening with regards to this renaming of the sports complex and the recreational facilities. Otis Birdsong and I are peers. We grew up playing Little League basketball and baseball under the leadership and direction of Mr. Reuben Williams. Schoolboy Tuckerson was the police officer, and as a youngster, he drove me to kindergarten to Miss Sarah Collins in the police car. So I'm real excited about the naming of these facilities in honor of these gentlemen. I commend you and thank you. And indeed, it is a high honor that you have bestowed upon Mr. Reuben, and I think that, and Otis and Schoolboy, and I think they are all deserving. I stand before you, however, as a product of the leadership and service that Mr. Reuben Williams provided to Florenceville community in the city of Winter Haven. Not only am I, but many of those present here this evening, Vernon Robinson back there who played in Little League Baseball. His son, Michael Williams, is here. His wife and Ms. Merle and his daughters are here. And so they shared their daddy with us, and he spent many long hours after working multiple jobs, doing many great things in this community, but working multiple jobs. And then he took the time to invest in us. This is the services and activities that at the rec it extended beyond just sports and athletics. Mr. Reuben was the Boy Scout leader. He was the commander of Post 201. I'm a veteran, and when I was serving in Gießen, Germany, the teen club and Mr. Reuben Williams wrote me all that time that I was there, and I wrote them. So they supported me, and they supported us, and he supported all of us in the things that we did. He was an entrepreneur. He taught me and many others the dignity of work. I mean, he had a lawn care service. He took me over and us over to Mountain Lake Estates. Mountain Lake Estates, Hubert Humphrey, Vice President Hubert Humphrey, Mama's house. And we cut her yard, and he said, y'all better act right. You know, so it was those lessons and those things that I stand in support of, and many of those who commended you and recommended to you that we named this the Lake Martin Club. I served as the president, and many others, I and many others developed our leadership skills and work ethic that led to our successful careers and community service that our city now benefit from. I just want to read you, listen, I submit to you the human capital that came out of the work of Mr. Reuben, the city benefited from greatly, and I'm just going to name a few of them. Otis Birdsong, NBA player. Derek Frazier, former city manager here. Joanne Tyler, Edith Brown, Bernard Bowman, Earl Williams, Theodore Williams, all of them former employees, and all of them retirees of the city of Winter Haven. And that is a more valuable asset and legacy that anyone can have. In about 1989, I was served 2 terms as the chairman of the Human Relations Committee, and I was on the Planning Commission, and I got awarded the key to the city of Winter Haven. And I'm here tonight in hopes that that key really unlocks something. And so I'm going to be coming to you. I'm going to be coming to you in the days and weeks ahead to unlock some more opportunities in order that we can name and identify some other things that will recognize the great contributions of the members of this community. And I'm going to say it not tongue-in-cheek, just straight up. Many of the folk in Florenceville that have done some great things in this community that we need to be able to elevate those things. And again, I commend you, and I'll close with this. And we in this week of service, Dr. Martin Luther King said, everybody can be great because anybody can serve. You don't need a college degree to serve. You don't need to make your subject and verb agree to serve. All you need is a heart generated by love and a soul based on that as well. So to God be the glory for what you've done here tonight, but there's more for you to do, and I'm going to bring it to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to this item?
Mr. Mayor, I would just recognize Minister Al-Khatib had pointed out a number of the folks that were here, but I did want to point out Mrs. Williams, who's here this evening as well, Mr. Reuben Williams' widow, who is with us this evening. So.
Yes, the whole family is here, including my classmate, Carolyn, from Jewett High School. Yes. So, yeah, we're going to take a picture. So I will now close the public hearing and reopen the City Commission meeting. All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. 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 Opposed by the same sign. Hearing none. All right, it's done. So now let's take a picture. Come on, commissioners.
So if the members of the Williams family, the Birdsong family, and if there's any members of the Tuggerson family.
Yeah, she's leading the red. Oh, yeah. And the red flag beside her. Okay. Gotcha.
No, absolutely.
I'm good.
She was thinking about telling you no, Lee.
That's perfect. All right, I can see everyone.
Mike.
All right, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Let's do one more. 1, 2, 3. Can the committee get a picture with you guys too? Sure. Commissioner Gately.
Thank you so much.
Check our table on the committee.
It's really some slapstick. $250,000. Can you make a decision on that?
All right, on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
All right. Resolution 12B approving a Florida Department of Transportation local agency LAP agreement. City Attorney, would you read by title only, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution R-24-05, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, approving a local agency program agreement between the City of Winter Haven, Florida and the State of Florida Department of Transportation for the design of roadway, sidewalk, and landscape improvements associated with the Complete Street project on 6th Street Southwest from Avenue G Southwest to US 17, and any supplemental agreements thereof, and authorizing the city manager to execute on behalf of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, said local agency program agreement approved herein, and any further necessary amendments thereto. Repealing all resolutions in conflict herewith, providing for severability, the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, and providing for an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager.
Mayor and Commissioners, we had a healthy discussion on this Wednesday evening. I'm going to ask Public Works Director Brittany Hart to give you a quick review of the project.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. So as we talked about Wednesday night, this is a grant opportunity that we applied for in 2019 for funding from the FDOT through the Polk County Transportation Organization. We were awarded a grant in the amount of $114,999 to design a complete street project along 6th Street Southwest, with project limits from Avenue G Southwest near the fire department up to US 17. And that design would include things like traffic calming, landscape enhancements, drainage improvements, and some additional pedestrian infrastructure where none exists today.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Brittany.
Commissioners?
Can I ask one question real
Yes.
quick? Do we envision this taking away from any of the properties along that road, or do you think everything will be contained within the roadway?
Part of the grant agreement is that the work has to occur within city-owned right-of-way that we currently own.
Okay, thanks.
Commissioner Yates, let me add to that. We were trying to think back as far as memory would serve. If you go back to when US 17 did not have the crossover, so prior to 2001, 6th Street, it's a very wide road in there. It comes in somewhat narrow from the north, but it is an extremely wide road. It actually has a center turn lane within it from when Hill Nissan was there, as well as the news chief was operating. So there is a significant amount of right-of-way for a roadway system that really only needs to have 2, maybe 11-foot lanes at best.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Motion to approve Resolution R-24-05.
Thank you. I will close the City Commission meeting, open the public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak to this particular resolution? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing, reopen City Commission meeting. All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Hearing none. The resolution is passed. Resolution 12C R-2406. City Attorney, would you read by title only, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution R-24-06, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, authorizing the city manager to apply for and accept, on behalf of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, a Federal Emergency Management Agency Hazard Mitigation Grant Program application and enter into a hazard mitigation grant, pump construction and maintenance memorandum of agreement with the Florida Department of Emergency Management, providing for severability, the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, conflicts, and providing for an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
Mayor and Commissioners, Dustin Everett, our Natural Resources Director, had given a presentation to you on Wednesday evening. For the sake of the audience, Brittany Hart will give a high-level overview of this for your consideration.
Thank you.
Yes, so last Wednesday, we gave you guys a brief overview. So Lake Elbert does not currently have a natural outlet that allows water to move downstream like many of our other lakes. And because of that, the water levels recede much slower and can only occur through infiltration or evaporation. So back in 2022, when Hurricane Ian came to town, the water level in Lake Elbert rose 20 inches above the guidance level set by the Southwest Florida Water Management District. And I believe many of you fielded calls with flooding concerns from residents. To alleviate that high water level, the city used a temporary pump to operate an existing flood control system that was connected from Lake Elbert to Lake Otis. This system was constructed in the 60s after Hurricane Donna. However, the pump was never put in place to actually operate that system until Hurricane Ian. So this is money available through the Federal Emergency Management Agency, through the Florida Department of Emergency Management to mitigate impacts from hurricanes, and this would allow us to put a pump on the existing system at Lake Elbert that has been there for quite some time, however, has just not been operational.
Thank you. Any questions?
Two quick questions, sorry.
Go ahead.
Are we going to put forth like a policy or okay, if it gets to this level, turn the pump on, or is it going to be like, oh, we're getting a bunch of phone calls, so now turn the pump on?
So it's my understanding and the intention of staff that the pump would not be utilized unless there was flooding concerns. The lake is above the level set by the district.
Okay. And then the south portion of that at the end going into Otis, he mentioned the other night that there could be some issues there. Any cost estimate on what that might run us?
I do not have a cost estimate at this time. We have an inspector who is doing inspections, and we can work up a cost estimate and determine if those repairs are necessary to operate the system, and come back with a figure.
If anything, you wouldn't think it'd be a crazy number based upon what you guys have seen thus far?
No, that's, and MJ's done more inspection on that and can offer some insights, but it's almost like we said, it's somewhat of a reverse well there. So you've got some, let's say some galvanized or some corrugated piping within there that's just been there since the 1960s that may need to be retrofitted or replaced to just give it some long-term integrity. It's submerged. You know, it's not like there's something that's out on the water on the Lake Otis side. And Brittany's correct, you know, when it comes to the operation of that pump, it really comes down to what is the lake levels within Elbert and the threat to private property or the roadway system, and what do we need to mitigate there. It's not necessarily on a float valve or something like that. It would be more manually controlled by staff.
Thank you. All right, any other questions? Entertain a motion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I move for approval of Resolution R2406.
All right, thank you. I will close the City Commission meeting, open the public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to speak to this item? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing and reopen the City Commission. All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Hearing none, the motion passes. Ordinance first reading, the second reading on these items will be January 22nd. Ordinance first reading O24-01. City Attorney, would you read by title only, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O-24-01, an ordinance amending Chapter 21 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, by amending a portion of Plan Unit Development Ordinance O-21-23, providing for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date. General location 1911 21st Street Northwest. The area covered by this request is 3.3 plus or minus acres. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
Mayor and Commissioners, I'm going to ask Eric Labby to give you a very brief overview on this for first reading.
Yes, sir. Mayor Birdsong and Commissioners, Rivercard LLC is the petitioner. They're requesting to amend a portion of existing PUD, that is Ordinance O-2123. It is an existing, already developed property that consists of 3 commercial buildings totaling 26,000 square feet on 3.3 acres. The western portion of the PUD will remain. This is the PUD that covers the townhomes that surround the commercial property. Upon development of the commercial portion, the petitioner has noted a need to expand the permitted commercial uses and also address signage requirements. The proposed changes are to allow C3 uses with the exception of sales, repairs, and/or servicing of automobiles, boats, and/or recreational vehicles, nurseries, cemeteries, and standalone parking lots, and also to require a special use approval for any proposed drive-through facilities and/or banquet halls. The signage change is to allow signage on any side of the commercial building as they have rear access doors already constructed. There are no other changes proposed to this PUD. As the mayor already pointed out, second reading will be on the 22nd. All notification requirements have been met. Planning Commission did meet on December 4th, 2023 at their regular meeting and voted unanimously to recommend approval of this request. No members of the public spoke, and staff's recommendation is to approve ordinance 02401 on the 22nd.
Thank you. Commissioners, do you have any questions? If not, we will review this again on the 22nd. Ordinance 13B, O-24-02. City Attorney, would you read by title only, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O-24-02, an ordinance amending ordinance 23-24, the 2035 Winter Haven Comprehensive Plan by amending the schedule of capital improvements portion of the capital improvements element of the City Winter Haven Comprehensive Plan, revising capital improvements element policies 1.1.7 and 1.1.8, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing for the administrative correction of scrivener's errors, and providing an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
Mr. Labby, please.
Again, Mayor, Commissioners, Florida statutes requires that all local governments to adopt a 5-year schedule of capital improvements as part of its comprehensive plan. This update includes fiscal years 23-24 through 27-28 and is derived from the city's 23-24 operating budget adopted by the City Commission on September 25th, 2023. And projects for which grants will be sought. The 5-year schedule of capital improvements consists of items identified in the capital improvement program portion of the city's operating budget. Per capital improvements element policy 1.1.3, only those projects with a minimum cost of $25,000 and a minimum service life of 5 years are included. There is in your packet, you can see all of those capital projects listed that will be listed in the comprehensive plan of the City of Winter Haven. Essentially, they are transportation, infrastructure, recreation, conservation projects over the $25,000 limit. Staff does recommend approval of ordinance 02402.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions? We will review this again on the 22nd. 13C, ordinance O-24-03. Will you read by title only, City Attorney?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O-24-03, an ordinance amending Chapter 21, Article Roman numeral 2, Division 2, Table 21-32A of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, by amending uses in the commercial-downtown C1 zoning district, providing for administrative correction of scrivener's errors, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing severability, providing for codification, and providing an effective date.
Thank you, City Manager.
Mayor, Commissioners, just so you're aware, this item and the next one are public hearings, and wanted to remind you, these are items that came before the Commission in the summer that were ultimately halted as a result of new legislation that was adopted into law at the state level pertaining to hurricane recovery following Hurricane Ian. In the special session that occurred in November of this year, the Florida legislature removed Polk County from the area of impact for which that new legislation was intended to address. So these have come back. They have gone through the Planning Commission, and they are presented to you for first reading this evening. With that, I'll take a swing at these, and Eric can weigh in furthermore, just to give him a quick break on the two that he just did. The first one deals with our Chapter 21, Article 2 Table of Land Uses and addressing the commercial downtown zoning district. So as you know, there are certain items or certain uses within the downtown that are permitted either outright or by special use, and in some cases not permitted. This is intended to make some adjustments to those. Those would include changing child care facilities from permitted by right to a special use. Assisted living facilities would go from permitted by right to not permitted. Funeral homes or mortuaries presently are allowed via special use. Those would be not permitted with this change. Artisan production of a small scale would go from special use under the current zoning to permitted by right. Personal storage units are not presently permitted. Those are proposed to be permitted as an accessory special use. And package stores presently require a special use permit. Those would be, under what is proposed, permitted by right. In the event that those that are there today operating in those categories that are not permitted in what is proposed, assisted living facilities, funeral homes, and/or mortuaries, those would be allowed to remain unless there was a stoppage of business. And Eric, I'm going to look to you, as 180 days. So if that business were to cease operation for 180 days, it could not come back in as that use. But if it was sold or transitioned within that 180 days, it would be allowed to continue. This was heard by the Planning Commission, actually 2 times, as I mentioned. At its December 4th, 2023 regular meeting, they voted unanimously to recommend approval of this request.
Okay.
Staff will stand for any questions.
Any questions? I will close the commission meeting and open the public hearing. Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak to this particular item? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and reopen the city commission meeting. Commissioners, we will vote on this on the 22nd of January. Item 13D also is a public hearing, ordinance O-24-04. City Attorney, would you read by title only, please?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance number O-24-04, an ordinance amending Chapter 21, Article Roman numeral 2, Division 5, Section 21-96, and Chapter 21, Article Roman numeral 2, Division 2, Table 21-32A of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Winter Haven, Florida, for the purpose of addressing banquet halls, bottle clubs, and related alcoholic beverage establishments, providing for administrative correction of scrivener's errors, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, providing severability, providing for codification, and providing an effective date. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager.
Mayor and Commissioners, currently bottle clubs and banquet halls located more than 150 feet from property that is zoned Ag, RE, R1, R2, or RM zoning, or that is located within a shopping center, is permitted by right when located within the C1, C3, C4, I1, and I2 zoning districts. Likewise, banquet halls and bottle clubs that are located within 150 feet of those residential zonings and that ag zoning I mentioned, and not inside a shopping center, are required to be reviewed by the Planning Commission as a special use when located within the C1, C3, C4, I1, and I2 zoning. So the request that is before you on first reading proposes that banquet halls and/or bottle clubs, regardless of their location, follow the same approval process as we would have for large-scale drinking establishments. Under that scenario, if they were located more than 150 feet away from AG, RE, R1, R2, or RM zoning, or if they were within a shopping center, they would be required to have a special use permit. And if they were located within 150 feet from those aforementioned zoning designations and within a shopping center, it would likewise require a special use. If they are within 150 feet of those aforementioned zoning districts, again, AG, RE, R1, R2, or RM, and they are not located within a shopping center, they would not be permitted. Your fact sheet gives you a good insight into what our definitions are for banquet hall and bottle club, so I won't elaborate on that. I will point out that any legally established banquet hall that presently operates, this is not too different from what I just shared with you on that downtown zoning, they will be allowed to continue operating after the effective date of this. So this is only pertaining to new operations that would come in. However, if those currently operating as a banquet hall or bottle club had any expansion or cessation of the use, again, 180 days or greater, that would require the pre-existing banquet hall to apply for the special use process going forward. So it doesn't prohibit it, it just requires it to go through a special use permit whereby the Planning Commission can then gather input from adjacent properties and factor in any consideration for conditions that may need to be put into place to mitigate any potential impacts. This was heard by the Planning Commission Again, at its December 4th, 2023 meeting, it was voted unanimously to recommend approval of this request with no members of the public speaking in opposition or in favor of. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? I will now recess the commission meeting and open the public hearing. Anyone from the public would like to speak to this particular item? I'll close the public hearing, reopen.
You have one?
Oh, there's someone. Oh, I'm
Good
sorry.
evening. My name is Jessie Skubna,
ahead.
10 Lake Link Drive, Winter Haven. I'm just curious, what exactly would not be permitted? I'm a little confused.
Eric, you want to, it'd be location,
It would be a banquet hall or a bottle club that is within 150 feet of the AG zoning, RE zoning, R1, R2, or RM. So those are primary residential districts. So if it was proposed within 150 feet of those and not within a shopping center, it would not be permitted.
Okay, so say if there was a building downtown that's 150 feet from the new residential, it would not be permitted?
No, because that's zone C1.
Okay.
The apartments are zone C1.
Okay.
It's based on the zoning, not the use.
So, okay, I'll have to get with you because I'm a little confused on what that
Yeah,
is.
we can talk through it.
Okay, thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you, Jesse. Now I'll close. Anybody else would like to speak to this item? I'm looking up. I'll close the public hearing, reopen the commission meeting.
I got one quick question.
Go ahead.
Along those same lines, Eric, if they're in a shopping center, it doesn't matter, they're approved.
By special use. By special use.
By special use, but we can't preclude them because they're too close to a neighborhood or something.
Well, you put limits.
Can we?
Condition it.
That would be looked at on a case-by-case basis. If it was required a special use for the approval, those are some of the factors that we would look at. Is there existing residential too close? Is that residential non-conforming, or is it, legal residential? And is there a way to mitigate the impacts for that? And if not, then it could be subject to denial.
So that's my point. No matter, we still, even if we pass this, we have the right to deny.
Correct.
If you guys, and we feel like it's too close to a residential or non-conforming.
Yes, sir.
Even though it's in a shopping center.
Yes, sir.
And Commissioner Dancer, if you look at that third part of that table there, the last row there, what's not permitted is when the bottle club or banquet hall is located within 150 feet of that zoning that's noted there, and it is a standalone. It's not within a shopping center, so it wouldn't be allowed. If it was within a shopping center, it's permitted, but it has to go through the special use permitting process, which allows for consideration of potential impacts.
In a shopping center, when you see one, but they're hard to define, or is that got a definition that you can get into?
They are defined. It's a shared tenant space within a building. I can't recite the definition right off the top of my head, but it's when you have one building with multiple shared tenant spaces.
It could be a strip center. It could
Yes,
be
sir.
Mall, any kind of thing where there's shared people, share roof,
Plaza.
whatever.
Yes, sir.
All right, that's good. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we will vote on this on the 22nd. New business. We have none. City Commissioner liaison reports. Commissioner Mercer.
I attended a lot of the Christmas things, the events, the lightings and everything, but I'm just not going to go through the whole list. So. I'll save some time tonight.
All right. Mr. Yates?
I was of the same opinion. Christmas is gone, so a lot of wonderful events this year. Staff did an awesome job. Look forward to 2024, and it's going to be an awesome year, so thank you.
Commissioner Dollison.
Well, I was thrust in with my swearing in, and they didn't give me any rest at all, so they got baptized with fire, so it's been exciting. It's been a lot to take in, but I'm yet excited just for the opportunity to learn more and to grow in this position.
Former Mayor Dantzler.
All right, Staybridge Suites had a grand opening, and some of us were there, and what a neat place that is. If you haven't been over there and seen that hotel, you might want to go over there and take a look. It's very nice. So, and we already have one person that's booked a room for a whole year, that's what they told me. Also went to the Florida Municipal Insurance Trust over in Orlando. That's our FMIT meeting. And also had a TDC meeting and Arts and Culture and Heritage on the county level. The reason that's important is we're now getting ready to open up applications for anybody that wants to apply for funding for their arts event, Heads in the Beds. We give away roughly $1 million now. So now's the time to start putting your applications together. It's a reimbursement grant. You have to have the money to get the money and spend it. And it has to be a very detailed plan, but we give away roughly $1 million a year. So if you know any arts organizations that bring people in from out of the county or generate hotel bed stays or anything that's arts, culture, and heritage, now's the time to get information. And you can ask me, as I'm the chairman of that committee, or Chris Caprios with the TDC over in Auburndale. He'd be happy to send you the calendar, and the applications are all done online now. So you do have to attend one training session, which is good. It takes about an hour to really figure out how to fill out the applications. But if you know of anybody that's doing something that's unique, I think of places at the Dairy Down and the Ritz and others. But if you know of anybody or know any organizations that's doing arts, culture, and heritage, tell them about it, because Theater Winter Haven gets some money, but that's really about it. We don't really get a lot over here. So, and I know we have a lot of arts, culture, and heritage events that could probably use the funding. So pass the word and help me get it around. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, I only have a couple of things. As Tracy said, we did the Christmas things that we do, but there are two things I did. One, I was elected the chairperson of the Central Florida Regional Planning Council. And I really do like that. And the Staybridge Suites, I won their grand prize.
What?
Yeah. It was an an expensive espresso machine, and they pulled my...
Nespresso?
Yes.
They pulled my name out the hat, so, I mean... I was lucky.
Probably need to put that in the city manager's office as a...
Hey, all you need to do is come to the CDC banquet. It'll be on the silent auction.
Form 6.
All right. Thank you all. City Attorney, you have anything?
Yes, I do this evening, and I'll be brief. We have a public hearing on Resolution R2408, which will be at your January 22nd, 2024 meeting, and I just wanted to announce that tonight. It's on the establishment of a green reuse area designation on that Blue Sky affordable housing project in the Florence Villa area. So that statute requires me to make that announcement tonight. So on your January 22nd meeting, you'll have a public hearing on that resolution. You designated tonight the liaisons, and the city manager asked me, and probably just as an abundance of caution, you probably should vote on that, just to make it official.
Okay.
So if you would entertain a motion to approve those assignments, then at least the city clerk would have a record of that in the minutes of the meeting.
Yes.
Motion to approve the city commission liaison appointments as read earlier.
All right. Any discussion? I'll close the city commission meeting, open the public hearing. Anyone from the public would like to address these appointments or that we're about to vote on? Seeing none, close it. Reopen the city commission meeting. All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by the same sign. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And then one final thing, I wanted to just congratulate Mayor Dantzler. It's going to be hard for me to call you anything but Mayor Dantzler.
Right.
But it's certainly been a real pleasure to serve with you and all the other commissioners. It's a great year, 2024. Congratulations to Mayor Birdsong, Mayor Pro Tem Yates, and Commissioners Dollison and Mercer. So we have a very good opportunities moving forward, and I look forward to the challenges and the opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. Just a couple items. A reminder that next week, your regular agenda review workshop has been moved from Wednesday, January 17th to Tuesday, January 16th. That should appear on your calendars. I believe it has all been set now. That is the result of several of you, actually 4 of you, will be traveling to Tallahassee to participate in the legislative session in Polk County days. Travel will be from Wednesday, the 17th, through Friday, the 19th. In addition to the commission, myself, the Deputy City Manager, MJ Carnevale, Director of Public Affairs and Communications, Katrina Hill, and Winter Haven Water Director, Gary Hubbard, will also be making that trip. So we will be leaving behind Assistant City Manager Charlie Bird and Commissioner Dantzler to keep us all in check. So Charlie, you've got your hands full. Lots of MLK-related events this week, culminating with the parade really on Saturday. Friday and Saturday are the more large-scale events, the Unity Luncheon on Friday, which I believe you're all registered for, and then the parade. We will be walking in that parade Saturday. If she has not already done so, Assistant to the City Manager Nicholson will be getting with you to arrange for transport either to the start of the parade or how you want to handle that morning. Also, just a final reminder that we are launching off our website tomorrow, and we'll have a training or a walkthrough of that for you next City Commission meeting, a full vetting of that with the City Commission. So that's all I have for this evening. Thank you very much.
Deputy City Manager?
Just a congratulations to Mayor Birdsong and Mayor Pro Tem Yates, as well as the other commissioners that were sworn in this evening, and echo everyone else's comments, Mayor Dantzler, on your time. Thanks.
City Clerk?
And I just want to echo the comments made by our city attorney and our deputy city manager, Carnevale.
And also sign these oaths.
Yes.
City Clerk has them. Yep. And make it official for the records.
Emergency matters not received for the agenda. Motion to adjourn. Thank you. We stand adjourned.